All right. Hi, everyone. It's Hannah Ranch with the Ranch Real Estate Group, and I'm here today with Billie at FabLab Tacoma. Billie, tell me a little bit about what FabLab is.
Well, thank you. It's good to be here. So FabLab is a business that was started in Tacoma around 9 years ago. Our original model was a makerspace, and so what that is, for those of you that aren't familiar, is it's basically a community, like a community workshop. You pay a membership fee, kind of like a gym membership, and you get to come in and use our tools and take our classes and generally be part of our little community here. And so if we were to liken it to a gym, instead of treadmills and rowing machines and things like that, you get to play with heavy machinery. So we have a laser cutter, we have a big computer controlled router, we have
Cool.
woodworking tools, metal shop, welding equipment,
Oh,
all
that's
that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Get to come and
Yeah.
just be a little creative.
Yeah, exactly. And I think it's easy to come in and kind of get overwhelmed with all the things that you can do. I mean, maybe you'll find yourself like me where I'm, in Starbucks or something and flipping over tables and, trying to figure out how things are made because now I have all this equipment and, I can do this for
Totally.
a
That's
fraction of
awesome.
the cost. It's just going to take me
Everywhere
hours of my life.
you see something that you're like, oh, I think I can do that. How do
Yeah.
I-
My wife gets after me for touching the art in places and, trying to figure out how stuff works. So
That's
prepare
hilarious.
for that.
That's
But
awesome.
no, so again, we started off as a makerspace, and we'd had a great community here. And in that, we also have a few other services that we would do. So, for instance, if your business needed signage made, or maybe you were an individual and you had some, epiphany in the middle of the night, and you wrote down a design for your little machine on back of a napkin, you can come into us and we would help you guide. We'd help guide you through the prototyping process.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah,
Like,
so we have.
make what I'm dreaming of.
Yeah, exactly. So, and one of the ways we were able to do that is through rapid prototyping.
Yeah.
And 3D printers have been out for, good 20 to 30 years now, but they just came down in cost over the last couple of years here. And so that's kind of been our specialty at FabLab,
Cool.
doing that. And so it's definitely cool to be able to use technology in a way now to benefit people. So.
Definitely. So how did FabLab even get started?
So the kind of quick version is that Steve Tibbetts, the owner of FabLab, he's co-owner with me, but anyway, Steve Tibbetts is my godfather, and so I met him through our church when I was little, obviously, and I grew up with kids. His kids are about the same age as me, and I would always be over at his house as I got older, working on different projects, and so. Steve is a electrical engineer by trade, and he would always have something going on. So one point he was building a drone in his garage, where he had an electric car that he had, tried to make, and all these little projects. He would bring me in to hold tools or to kind of look over his shoulder to help him. And one Christmas, we decided to go in on a 3D printer kit together.
Fun.
And so we bought the 3D printer for about $600, and it came in 1,500 little parts, and I scattered them all over his living room floor in front of the fireplace, and we sat down and we made the little printer together.
Oh, cool.
And from that, I was just about the point where I was maybe, I think getting ready to get out of college. And we said, hey, Tacoma is really well, first, the grit city. So, we're all about getting stuff done.
Totally.
But also, I think there's a good opportunity for some kind of a business here. Rapid prototyping is going to be huge. And I think that a lot of people are in the same situation where Steve was, as far as not having the room to have equipment in his house. Things like there's be no way you'd be able to fit a laser cutter or some of the big machinery, a big wood shop in your house. So he said, there's got to be a central place where we can develop a community and be an asset to the city of Tacoma.
Yeah.
And so got some money together and shook a few trees and basically got some funding and started FabLab Tacoma here. And we've been here ever since. But now we've kind of shifted since the virus. So.
Yes, totally. That's kind of what grabbed my attention. One of my neighbors had posted about you guys and how you guys were looking for volunteers and some help. So tell me what you guys have been doing to shift through this whole kind of crisis pandemic that we're in. What are you guys doing
Sure.
right now to help out?
Sure. And so I just want to make a quick distinction. So as I said, originally we started out FabLab as a business, but eventually, I think 2 years ago, we shifted and we developed a nonprofit arm,
Yeah.
focused more on education, because we found that education was incredibly valuable in some of the classes we were doing for our current members. And so we spun up a nonprofit, and that nonprofit is what we're starting to create. Find ourselves in the situation creating PPE
Okay,
through
cool.
that now, and so that's a FabLab Education. I'll give you the website in a bit, but so how that looks is that we essentially, there was a call from nurses nationwide
Mhm.
that said, "Hey, we are out of PPE, so personal protective equipment." And the international supply chains weren't able to catch up. So China, the big producers, just couldn't make enough, or get flights were grounded. So that even if you could make enough in China, you couldn't get it here fast enough, and that's still kind of the issue. And so spaces like ours, maker spaces, stepped up immediately. We stepped up immediately here, designing masks that could be 3D printed and produced here locally.
That's awesome.
And so that's so I want to show you, and you may notice that two things, disclaimer. I'm not wearing a mask or minding social distancing. Well, maybe I am right here, but it's because I'm in my back shop. Our volunteers and everybody else are in a different room of our building, so I'm not close to anybody right now.
No worries. Same here. No one's.
I can see you. And so here's one of the masks that we're producing here.
Cool.
And the cool thing is that this is not our design, but this was a collaborative design. This particular design is referred to as a Montana mask. And the reason it's called the Montana mask is because this was a design that was originally made in, I believe, Spain.
Oh.
And so some inventors over there open sourced the thing, and they threw it out to the community and said, "Hey guys, here's what we came up with. If you can improve it, let's work on this together." And so some guys in Montana kind of refined the design for use in 3D printing. And this is the design that we're currently using. So this mask I have is a Montana mask. It is 3D printed. And I'll show you the components of it here. So pop it out. So there's a couple components. So the first component is the mask itself, the kind of shell.
Yeah.
And so this is a sturdy plastic. This can be wiped down and sterilized with a solution of bleach or regular disinfectant. So there's that. You'll see on the inside that we've put a weather stripping on the inside of this guy.
Nice.
And this is to help it conform to your face.
Yeah, suction right on.
Exactly, yeah. And so the key on these things, any mask that you wear, regular 95 or whatever, is basically that you get a good fit, right? And so you want to make sure that it's actually, there's no gaps that the air isn't coming out. Because that is a problem. I believe up to 60% of issues is that you have a mask that's not fitting correctly. So this seal helps you fit it to your face. Alternatively, what you can do is you can actually put the whole mask in hot water, kind of like a mouth guard.
Yeah.
And it'll become a little bit pliable, so then you can put it to your face and kind of mush it to contours of your nose to fit.
That's awesome.
And so it's really cool. Again, you can get to fit really well. The other component is this little guy here, which is the carrier for the filter, and then the filter itself. So this is the carrier for the filter. This fits down inside of the hole there in front. But it's stuck in there whenever you use a piece of filtering cloth. So if you have an N95 mask, you can actually download a pattern to cut it into 6 individual squares. And those squares, basically this mask acts as a multiplier. So those 6 individual squares that you cut from one N95 mask can be used in this design, just rotated through daily.
That's awesome.
To fit. And so I'll show you how this guy goes in there real quick here. It's a little awkward with the computer camera.
I love that idea of being able to just take one mask and make multiple. That's deep.
Yeah. And, okay, so here you go. So you see I can put it down in there, kind of make sure there's no gaps, and then push it in there.
Simple.
Yeah, and then it's taught on the top there. So, so this is, you can use a variety of different things. We've used HEPA filters. I want to stress that this right now is getting, the various filters and stuff are still getting medical approval, but, or national approval on different channels, but this is what people have been using in different facilities around the world. And if you're just a regular person and you're going out, this is better than a cotton mask. So it does offer some protection on a certain level. So, but anyways, so there's the mask. The other thing that we are working on here is face shields.
Awesome. I love that.
And so this is, it looks like a simple design. It actually took a lot of iterations to get right.
Yeah.
And let's see. And so this is something, these two items are something that we've spun up to create here during the pandemic. And whenever we looked at the problem, we said, okay, what resources do we have available to make PPE right now to get it to the frontline workers? And so we looked and we said, hey, we have a bank of 3D printers. We have 2 laser cutting machines. How can we adapt some of these designs to work on our tools safely and efficiently?
Right.
And that's what we did. And so, so we came up with, we modified a design file to make these masks, or these face shields, laser cuttable. And we have a laser cut piece of acrylic here. And then this is actually a binder, a clear binder cover.
Oh, wow.
That we ordered locally.
You guys are so innovative. I love it. It's so cool.
You know, I used to get in trouble when I remember when I was like 10 years old for pulling apart my dad's drill. You know, he'd come in and say, "What have you done?" You know, pulling apart stuff and taking apart things. But really, that is what's fueled this entire movement. It's like looking to see what you have around immediately that can be used safely and be sterilized efficiently. And so, yeah, this is a binder cover. This is a correct thickness as well. So this is a thicker binder cover. We've looked at the specs, and this again is in use by several medical facilities around the state here. And yeah, so this can be sterilized. And this is so this part is laser cut. This part is hole punched with a 3-hole punch we modified, and then it's stuck on here. This is more of that that rubber to give a little bit of comfort, and then we're doing 2 versions of it. We've transitioned away from Velcro. This one shows Velcro on it to latch, but we've actually just used kind of a nylon rope that can be quickly tied and thrown in the washing machine. So.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, so that's what we're working on right now. We have I want to say an army, but that doesn't sound right. But we have a fair amount of volunteers that were coming in at doing very small shifts.
Yeah.
To kind of mind the rules on that, and we're making sure that they're correctly distanced apart and wiped down and all that whenever they come into work. So that's what we're doing here.
That's so awesome. So are you guys still needing more volunteers to help out and make masks and PPE?
Yeah, yeah, we are. So so a couple things to this. Because we got started right whenever there was a call to action, so a little more than a month ago. We basically threw everything we had into making PPE. We were out buying acrylic and buying, you know, the raw materials for this stuff, buying 3D printable material. And we quickly ran through our funds. And so we launched a GoFundMe to do this. And you can reach that through fablabeducation.org to see our GoFundMe link. And you can see a form on there to volunteer as well.
Awesome.
But anyways, yeah, so we quickly put out a call to action. We made a couple of GoFundMe goals, and people surpassed them quickly, which is a blessing to us. And then, so now we're looking for volunteers to help come assemble. We have a questionnaire, and we have a questionnaire about your exposure to the disease and things like that as well. But that's all available online. And then you can sign up basically for a shift. So.
That's awesome. So you're looking for volunteers and you're looking to raise some more money right now. Yeah. So I will put the GoFundMe link on there. And it sounded to me like you guys are really trying to reach out to the community as a whole. So anybody that can share this video with their friends, family, coworkers would be super helpful, right?
Yeah, definitely. if they can share it with their friends and coworkers, just to show what's going on and what's happening in Tacoma. I think we want to offer encouragement as well. I mean, I have a number of friends that are nurses and doctors and a few firefighters, EMTs, things like that. And I think just to offer encouragement to show that Tacoma is here for you and the surrounding areas as well. But yeah, financially, if you choose to bless us with a gift, we would absolutely love that and utilize that. And that will go to directly to materials, to machining costs, and some to our overhead as well to keep our doors open here and creating.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so far we've been able to deliver. I think we're close to 3,500, if not 4,000 face shields and about 500 of these masks. And so
that's awesome. Do you guys have a goal for how many you guys are hoping to deliver?
Right now it's kind of fun. I think a bit sky's the limit. It's kind of as enough as, we're making them as fast as we can. I would right now, sort of short term, I would like to see 10,000 face shields. And I would like to see 1,000 masks. And I think that with kind of the right partnership, that's definitely within reach. So
that's awesome. Are you guys sending them directly to the local hospitals? Are you guys sending them out to like New York? How is that distributed? How do you know?
Yeah, so mostly it is locally. So we've worked with 5 or 6 local hospitals. I've personally delivered some to face shields to Faircrest Police Department, to Tacoma Police Department, to Lakewood, and we have volunteers that have dropped off, or they've actually come here to pick up things to take to those locations. We have had some nurses that were doing a relief flight from Seattle to New York, and so they were able to bring a small shipment of PPE to them as well. But mostly it stayed local.
Yeah,
so
it's needed everywhere. So that's great. You got to start where we are and kind of move from there. I love that they were able to bring a little shipment with them. That's really neat.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. I love hearing about this. I never knew that FabLab was a thing until I just saw one of my neighbors post it, and I was like, that is so cool. And you guys are so close to me, so I was like, I have to get to know what they're doing over there. So thank you for sharing that. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, it's good. We love it. So
yeah, so this probably is kind of what's keeping you sane through all of this. I imagine you guys are staying pretty busy.
We're staying really busy. Sorry, visually see my eyes roll. We're staying busy here. The good thing is I am particularly busy.
Yeah.
Because I am in the middle of my master's, my executive master's.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
And
in Ireland?
Yeah, the kicker is that it's in Ireland. So I had to come back early because Ireland essentially shut down. And now I'm dealing with, I've literally had to take classes in the middle of the day here. So we're 8 hours behind them.
Right.
So if they have a class that they're running at 7, 8, 9 o'clock PM, it's literally in the middle of the day here. So I need to sequester myself to the office, and different times I've been listening to a lecture and also assembling masks. And so yeah, it's been interesting.
Ask a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
Do you plan to go back to Ireland once all of this is lifted?
Yeah, absolutely. I have one more year over there. I'm in Galway, and I would love to go back and see my classmates and all that, and finish out the year there if I can. So
yeah, absolutely. It sounds awesome. Well, that's so cool. I hope that everybody that's watching this is able to help in some sort of way. The more that we can help, sounds like the more sooner we can probably get you back over to Ireland to get your.
Let's get over this pandemic and get me back.
Exactly. Well, that's pretty much all I've got for you today. So I just wanted to thank you again for explaining what you guys are doing. I think it's huge help to what's going on. And I hope that we can kind of all band together and help you guys out.
Yeah, and I told you before on our call, I have a special heart for real estate agents, and that I used to do real estate marketing back, another venture right out of college. I was a busy guy then, but I miss the meetings, I miss the camaraderie, and I miss the sort of always positive personality.
Totally. We try. We try. We're just out here to kind of help everybody else out. So, and that's really what you do. So I love that that's so true. I can see it in your face. Like you just kind of like, you glow a little bit when you talk about what you guys are doing over there. And I love that. So
Yeah.
it's awesome.
Touching my face, I'm gonna wipe down. I'm go scrub myself down. Geez, like
Right.
it's hard when you see yourself on video, right? It's like,
I know, it totally is. You're always like, oh, what's going on? Cool. Well, thanks again, Billie. I appreciate it. And can't wait to share this with everybody else. I'll talk
great.
to you.
Yep. Thank you.
Thank you. See you later.